Just gonna walk through the demo, just step by step, so you can kind of see how it all plays out. We're gonna go through the front to the back.
Okay.
So at the beginning, when we get to the house, we want to do some relaxers. This is letting them know that we partner with Home Depot, Costco. We're gonna test their water for them. We're gonna show them how it's, let's see, developed by the Water Quality Association, accepted by the EPA, test done. We're gonna show some comparisons. How some of the impurities in your home affect your home, your family, and your budget. If we find a problem and you want to see a solution, I can show you one. If not, I'll be on my way and get you set up on your gift card. That relaxer is there to show them that they don't have to buy anything. We're going to do these tests. We put some credibility in there with Home Depot, with the EPA, with the Water Quality Association. But we're just going to do the test and then they'll decide if they want to see some other options. That's very important as a relaxer. Things to find out at the home if they're homeowners. How long have you guys owned the home is a good question to ask. That way they'll let you know, hey, we rent the house or something like that. Usually we know if they're homeowners or not, but it's good to do a second take in there. Also, if they're employed, do you guys have to commute to work? Are you able to work from home? These are conversational pieces you have with them to find out that they're working. Okay, we don't want to spend 2 hours with somebody that doesn't have a job. Okay, now we set up. We get a couple things. We do 2 glasses. We ask the customers to get us 2 glasses while we go into the house, right? Best to do wine glasses, but they have to be glass, not plastic. As well as a bowl. It can be a plastic or glass bowl, and this is going to resemble a hand towel, okay? If you get little bitty, if they give you little bitty washcloths, you need to get 2 or 3 of those. You need something that can hold some water, so 2 hand towels is good, or a hand towel and a big towel is good as well. So you can do a hand towel and a big towel. This is to dry off their hands in a hand wash test, okay? So get a couple of hand towels, get a bowl, glass. We set these to the side. We're gonna use these in our demonstration, okay? The other thing is as we set everything up, we've got a mat here that has everything on it. All the chemicals that we're gonna use are gonna be set out so they can see everything. And yeah, so they can see everything here and they can see how it's all laid out as we use them. All right, so while they're getting the glass and the bowls, we're setting all this up for them. There we go. Okay, now this mat has everything on it so you know where to put it, right? You know what we're gonna use. Once they're done, you got your bowls, your glasses, we're gonna explain everything to them. This is a miniature version of what we put on the outside of the home. That's important because we don't want them to think this is a sink filter. This is for the whole house. This is a miniature version. This is called my portable system. This goes on the outside of the house, in the garage or outside in the backyard, depending on where your water's coming in. This has a couple things on it: carbon and ion exchange filtration. It's called carbon and resin. The carbon is designed to get impurities out of the water. Okay, now I'm saying the impurities. Chemicals like chlorine and contaminants and make the water taste and smell good through the whole house, okay? Then you've got the resin, that's actually an ion exchange filtration. That is designed to get the debris and the hardness and those things that damage the water heaters and appliances and things like that out of the home. So this will protect your house really well. Unlike a regular water softener though, that just soften the water, or a fridge filter, those you have to change out. This has a lifetime warranty, okay? So it's a pretty unique filter there. So right there, you want to get a separation of a basic water softener and filtration. This is called a whole house water treatment system that does everything. Okay, that's kind of what we're putting there. So we explain all that. Now it's time to start the test. The first test we're going to do is a hardness test. The first water we're going to test is treated water. So this hooks up to their faucet. Okay, the water's coming through there. We're going to take the treated water. We're going to pour it in here. And we fill it up to 1 grains per gallon. So I just explained this is our first test, guys. It's called a hardness test. We're going to see how hard your water is. And then that'll tell me, give me an idea of how much of that rock and debris that you have coming into your home. Okay? So here's your first test. Fill it up to 1 grains per gallon, right? When you put it in there, the first chemical we're going to use is a pH balancer. Okay? You put 5 drops in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. pH balancer, hardness number 5. The second thing we're going to do is an indicator dye. This is called hardness number 6. It's an indicator dye. We're going to put 5 drops in it. Now, if it turns blue, it means there's no hardness in the water and it's good, clean water. If it turns red, that means it's hard and it's got debris in it, and we gotta fix it, okay? So in this test, when I put the 5 drops in, because I ran it through my filter, it's gonna be blue, okay? So we wanna let them know that that is good, clean water. That's what we want, okay? So we're gonna compare that now to their tap water. So we're gonna dump this out in the sink, in the drain with the water running. The chemicals will stain. I'm gonna put that in the video. It will stain. So we wanna dump that out, always be holding it. Don't set it down because this will break as well. The second test we're gonna do, we're gonna put their faucet on and get water out of their faucet. Fill up to 1 grains per gallon. We're gonna do the 5 drops of the pH balancer again, right? Then we're gonna do the indicator dye. Those 5 drops, the water will actually turn red. Okay, now we can see that we have hard water, okay? That means you have stuff and junk and debris in the water, but we need to see how much, okay? So now we're gonna use a chemical water softener. This is your hardness number 7. This is similar to like the chemicals in soap products like Tide and Cascade and Dove, all the things that they put in soap to get it to work. Those are actually called chemical water softeners. That's what this is, similar to those, a chemical water softener. So every drop I put in here is gonna count as a grain of hardness. A grain is a measurement of weight, okay? So we're gonna see how many grains of hardness your water is, okay? So I do 2 drops at a time, 1, 2, kind of shake it up, still red, 3, 4. You'll start to see it get a little like purplish blue, and I'll add 1 more. Okay, so we got 5 drops of hardness in there, which turned to crystal blue, nice and blue. So what that means is we have 5 grains of hardness, okay? Now to make that 5 grains of hardness mean something, what hardness is, or grains per hardness, it is equivalent to 15 pounds per grain per year, okay? So if you have 5 grains of hardness, and this is what I'm explaining to the customer, then that means you have 75 pounds, or you would ask the customer to do the math so you can get them involved, right? So 15 times 5 comes out to 75. So that's 75 pounds of rock and debris coming into your house every single year, okay? Now, as I'm talking, I'm gonna put all this up, okay? And since I'm done with the hardness test, I'm gonna dump that out. We're gonna put everything up, okay? The reason why I do that is I wanna start clearing my place up here, right? So I'm done with that test code there, but now I'm gonna explain what 75 pounds of rock means. So I wanna create some pictures, okay? So, if you were to think of a 75 pound rock, right, just being crushed and ran through your pipes every single year, can you imagine what that's doing to stuff like your water heater? Do you guys have a tank or a tankless water heater?
Tankless.
Tankless. So on a tankless water heater, just so you know, the coils on there, if you know how a tankless works, the water goes through the coils and just heats up really fast. Well, those coils attract all that hardness, and it ends up really cutting the life of those in half, if not more. Losing warranty on a lot of those, and you have to get them serviced quite a bit, right? I don't know if y'all gotten y'all service. Some people go 2 or 3 years without servicing them, yeah? Have you had your service, or do you not mess with it?
Don't mess with it.
Don't mess with it, yeah. So it's actually cutting that life down quite a bit.
Right.
And then in tanks are just as bad, because what happens is, in a tank water heater, you get about a ½ inch buildup in the year on the bottom of those, and that just starts stacking up year after year. Could eventually crack that inside tank, and then what happens? Where's it at? In the attic, in the garage?
Right.
The attic?
Yeah.
So you can imagine some of the pain in those. Usually those are supposed to last 15, 20 years, but most people get 7, 8 years out of them because of the buildup in there. Now, I would ask the customer if they've ever changed them or go into detail about the tankless. You know, I want to get feedback here with the customer. Now, not only that, those are the things we see. We see the water we don't see. Inside the water heater, the dishwasher, the washing machine, all those appliances, those aren't cheap anymore, are they?
Not at all.
They used to be cheap. They used to be $200, $300. Now they're $1,000, $3,000, right? So that cost starts adding up quite a bit. But then you have stuff that we do see, right? We don't really know what's going on, but like a glass shower. You guys have a glass shower?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How do y'all treat that?
Sure. Glass cleaner like once a month.
Yeah, a lot of elbow grease and chemicals, right?
Absolutely.
Well, what's happening is when the water evaporates from the glass, it actually leaves behind rock and debris. Now that starts etching and cutting into the glass. So if you don't dry it immediately or squeegee it, you guys don't squeegee?
We do.
You
Yeah.
do? Yeah, so you squeegee as well? Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I had to squeegee one time in my life, man. I've had a water treatment system on my house for a long time. Right when I got a new house, I didn't have to squeegee or any of that kind of stuff. But I went to a friend's house when the hurricane came. And we had to stay somewhere for a couple of weeks because we lost power. I'm sitting in that shower, man, squeegee, and it looked like a car wash in there. Cold, wet, you know, and I'm like trying to, I'm like, man, just get clean water.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get clean water, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see what I'm,
Right.
right? So easy to get clean water. But yeah, we just deal with it. We don't know why we're cleaning. You know, we just do it. You got the shower head that starts getting that gunk build up on it. You've got toilet bowl rings. You guys ever seen toilet bowl rings before?
Absolutely.
Yeah, all over the place. And you got to get in there and clean those areas.
Yeah.
So that's all caused by that debris and stuff coming into the water, right? And then you have stuff that you see all the time, like your glassware. You know, you start seeing stuff kind of build up in there in the dishwasher. Right now I'm looking at your sink, guys. You see all these little squiggly lines on your sink? That's actually etching from the water.
Wow.
You know, I see your refrigerator over there. You notice how you got all that white buildup in there and starting to get those white lines in there in that black fridge or those stainless, that black area. See, that's what it's doing. It's etching those. Metals, plastic, glass, and granite, this water tears up like crazy. Okay, you can just imagine if you've ever had a sprinkler hit your car. If you did that every day and never cleaned it, what would you do?
Wow.
It'd tear up the
Probably
paint.
messed the paint up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you tear it up. Well, that's what we're doing inside this big investment that we've got. Okay, so that's a little bit about the hardness in the water, guys. We're going to go into a little bit more detail about that, but just to give you an idea of what it's causing and what's happening. Okay. Now this next test is pretty cool because it's designed to let you see what's in the water. Okay, this is called a precipitation test. This is going to, which means to separate out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take two chemicals. This is Precip A. It's actually potassium hydroxide. This is called Precip B. It's hydroxyquinone sulfate. It's actually an amber tint that allows you to see what's going on in there.
Okay.
So I want you to think of these to be like three little water heaters, right? And kind of give you a pretty good idea. Now I'm going to put two full drops each of those. So two, and 2 of full drops. Okay. Now this is the one and only time I'll use that. So when I'm done, I'll put it up. Right. I'm also going to use 2 full drops of this one, full drops, into each of these, 2, and 2. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a amber tint color in all those. And I'm going to put that up. Now usually this takes a minute to do, so this is a lot of times where I start making small talk about their work, about where they came from, about damage they've maybe seen in the past at their other house. So I'll try to pull some of that pain out here as well. So they'll put these on. Now guys, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna shake all these up, right? And you're gonna notice this one, other than the amber tint, is gonna stay nice and clear. We are gonna put these to the side though, because it does take a while for this test to develop. But you'll see this one should stay nice and clear just like it is now. This one here, sometimes if it's clear, just tell them it'll take a while. And eventually when we come back to it, you'll have that cloudiness and some precip. If right now when you shake it up, it starts to get really cloudy already, which if it's 4, 5, 6 grains of hardness, it'll already be cloudy. You can explain, you see how cloudy that is, guys. What'll happen eventually, this will all settle to the bottom and get clear, and you'll see all that chunky stuff build up on the bottom. Now, if it's clear right now, it just means it's not as hard, but I'll say eventually this is gonna cloud up, and then you're gonna see it drop down to the bottom. You'll see a bunch of little chunky stuff in there. So either way, I kind of push that. Then I put it off to the side. Then this one, guys, is your fridge. Hopefully this one, oh man, it looks just like your tap water does, you know? It may look better than the tap water. Say, hopefully it stays pretty nice and clean, or man, it looks just like your tap does already. So we're gonna set that to the side as well. So we're gonna come back to that. We're actually gonna show you all that junk in the water. It's probably gonna surprise you quite a bit, okay? Now, the last thing we're gonna do as far as the setting up the face cloth, we want to start focusing on not just hard water and appliances, but now we want to start getting into skin, hair, and clothes, because that's actually what's going to put the urgency to buy this thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that washcloth you gave me. This is all clean, right? We washed this in the washer. You don't want a new one. It's got to be washed in the washer, and the bowl's clean, okay? So I put there in there, and then I explained to them what I'm doing is I'm filling this up with clean water. So unfortunately, we can only get things as clean as what we're cleaning with. So if we have water with stuff in it, guys, stuff's gonna be left behind. We see it in the shower, we're also gonna see it in our clothes, okay? So as I fill this up with clean water, what you're gonna see is you're actually gonna see it start to pull all the junk that's been left behind in your clothes, or I'm actually gonna show you that. People either love me or hate me when I come out to their house. They love me because they fix their water, they hate me because they see how dirty everything actually is. But as I fill this up, one of the key things to know is that the soap that we use to clean with, whether it's a body wash, a shampoo, conditioner, dishwasher detergent, whatever it is, it's gonna bond together with the stuff and the junk in the water. It's gonna pick up dirt, sediments that's in the water as well, and it's gonna bond to everything. And that's actually where we get soap scum from. Okay. Have you guys ever seen soap scum when you take a bath? You let the water out and you see a soap scum ring?
Absolutely.
You ever seen that? In the shower, you start getting that soap scum build up right
Absolutely.
after time. You know, I always tell people, if you want to see how clean you get, look at the shower after you take a shower. Is it clean?
No.
Not after a few showers, you know. You got to go in there with chemicals and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, what we do with our skin, same thing sticks to our skin. All that soap scum sticks to your skin, and instead of actually cleaning it, we go out and we put lotion on and conditioners and fabric softeners in our clothes. Makes a big difference. But could you imagine if you took a bath and you let that water all settle out, and you had that soap scum ring around it, and you went in there and just wiped it all off with your hand and just rubbed it all over your hair or your face, you know, your stuff?
Right.
Nobody does that, right?
Nobody does.
Nobody does that. But that's that squeaky feeling you're getting when you get in the shower. You think you're squeaky clean, right? You ever felt that?
Right.
That's squeaky soap scummy. All right, you're getting it all over you, and then you're putting lotion on when you're done, and you look back and you look at a dirty shower. Right? So we got to start thinking about, hey, to actually get clean, you got to use clean water, guys, and that's what this test is going to show you. It's going to fill it up. So as you've seen, it's nice and full now. Cleaned up with clean water. So we're going to set this to the side as well, and we're going to come back and show you what all comes out of your clothes. You ready for that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Reluctantly, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next test, guys, so we're gonna check that to the side. So the other thing, this is the last chemical test we're gonna do, and then we're gonna show you how it really affects you with all these things that we're doing. But this is a chlorine test, right? Do you have any idea why they would put chlorine in the water?
To make it safe. Yeah.
Make it safe, yeah, to kill the bacteria.
Right.
Right? Well, to do that, they actually are required to put 0.2 to 0.4 parts per million in the water, okay? To do that, that'll actually make the water potable. Wouldn't say drinkable, but potable, right? It'll kill the bacteria. Now, this is a pull test kit. We can see that this test starts at 0.6. Okay, so this starts above what the city requires. So let's see where you guys fall here. This is gonna be your tap water, okay? So I'll get some of their tap water in here. Now this is OTO. This is the same chemical they use for swimming pools. We're gonna put 5 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? Whoa. All right, so you see how, now I would hand this to the customer. Do you see how yellow this is? You can kind of look at it to the light. You can kind of see the variation. Where does that fall? We'll say 1.5, right? So 1.5 about right there. Now listen, for the video, I don't care if it's 0.6, 0.2, this is all close to, at, or above pool levels. Any yellow is no good. Even if it's not yellow, it probably still has 0.2 to 0.4 parts per million in it. So, we're gonna pretend like here this is 1.5. So this is pool level. Do you see that little bracket right there that says ideal?
Yes.
See that? That's ideal for a swimming pool, okay? So you guys have as much chlorine in the water as pools have in them.
Yikes.
All right? What do you normally do when you get out of a pool?
Dry off.
And then what?
Yeah.
Go take a shower.
Go take a shower.
Why?
Yeah. Cause you're
Get the chlorine, yeah.
You're chapping everything else. Getting it. Yeah.
You get the chlorine off of you.
Yeah.
People don't realize you just showered in chlorinated water.
Yeah.
Right? So the problem with that is, and the reason why there's so much in there is because the state's got to require, those mud districts got to make sure that all the houses, even the last one in line, has 0.2 to 0.4 parts per million. Well, there's no maximum. So they just got to put a lot of chlorine in the water to make sure that the last house in line has plenty of chlorine to kill the bacteria. Okay, now the problem with chlorine is it's a natural drying agent, okay? It is the active ingredient in bleach.
Yikes.
So what it does is it strips oils off your skin. If you've ever seen a wood fence that the sprinkler hits, it discolors the fence. It's actually bleaching the fence out, right? So you can imagine what it's doing to your skin, your hair, and your clothes, guys, all right? That's what happened to me. I'm just kidding. So But what you got, guys, if y'all have any issues on your skin, like eczema, psoriasis, dandruff, or just dry skin where you get out of the shower and you put some lotion on, can you see how this can really affect you guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So now that I've shown you the chemical part of it, guys, now we're getting ready to have some fun. Okay? We're actually going to show you how it affects your skin and everything. So what I want you to do now, actually do a pause real quick for me.